Strong dollar decreases economic activities in Nigeria and, of course, other parts of the continent. That is according to International Monetary Fund, IMF. Welcome to Business Daily. I am Yusuf Akobu. We take our business top stories. Glad to have you back. Now let's give you commodity prices. Of course, with the adjustment to the prices of petroleum, of course, indeed, that has also affected the prices of commodity. We give you some of them from the rice. The price of rice in Abuja here, it has moved from still within 35,000 and 45,000 naira, depending on which one you're buying. 50 kg bag in Abuja here is within that range. In Lagos, it's the same price. You go down to Jos, about 32,500 and of course 42,000 naira. 50 kg down there in Ilori, Kwara State is between 30,000 and of course 40,000 naira. Of course, you know, Kwara State is one of the states that is share border with Benin Republic here in Nigeria. Of course, your state, Ibadan to be precise, is between 35,000 and of course 45,000 respectively. In Port Harcourt, the Garden City, is between 36,500 and of course 46,500. Of course, a half bag, that is 25 kg bag in Lagos, is around 17,000 and of course 23,000 naira within that range. And of course, in Sokoto State, is between 15,000 and of course 20,000 naira for 25 kg. But for 100 kg bag in Sokoto is around 60,000 and of course between 60,000 and 70,000 respectively. Well, let's look at the price of palm oil. In Lagos State, 25 liters is around 20,000, between 20,000 of course 35,000 naira. In Port Harcourt, same liter as well, between 24,000 and 35,000 naira. In Oyo State is around 22,000 and 35,000 naira. In Owerri, Imo State, the prices is between 24,000 and 36,500. In Abuja here, it's around 25,500 and 35,000 naira. In Benin City, Edo State, the prices goes for between 20,000 and of course 35,000 naira. Let's look at how the tomatoes are faring. The tomato in Kaduna, 40 kg in Kaduna is around 20,000 naira. Of course, in Umahia main market in Abia State is around 33,000 naira for the same 40 kg bag. A huge price differential there. You will see 13,000 naira different, huge amount of money there. 25 kg in Lagos, my 12 market, the very popular market in Lagos precisely, is around 30,000 naira. Of course, in Ughelli main market in Delta State is going for 35,000 naira. Of course, Boko, Benue State, is also around that same 35,000 naira. Indeed, these are some of the commodities that we're monitoring at this moment. We'll give you more, of course, in the course of the show. Now we go to the stock market to look at how the market fared yesterday. Wednesday, I think the market closed negative yesterday. The all-share index losing about 93 basis points or thereabout to close downward at 0.01%. And of course, the volume of trade among investors there, 472 million volume of shares. Of course, in terms of market cap, it's around 34.7 trillion naira. The value of the volume of trade yesterday was around 10 billion naira, a little over 10 billion. Of course, deals 7,403 deals there exchange hands among investors. Then look at the gainers. Who are the beneficiaries? Honey flour gaining 10% to close at 3 naira 63 kobo. Of course, internal oil also gaining 9.98% to close there at 28.63 naira. Academy Press gaining 9.95% to close at 22 naira. 2 naira 21 kobo. The losers are Geregu Power is on the losing side today, losing 10%. The biggest loser for the day to close the day at 315 naira per share. Geregu is one of the high cap stocks quoted on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Prestige closed negative as well. 45 kobo, it closed on the day. And of course, FTN Cocoa also closing negative there, 9.61% to close at 2 naira and 7 kobo. We look at the activity chart. We have a Japan Gold and Ventures. Recorded the highest volume of trade, 78 million shares it traded. FCMB Group, 36.6 million, and of course, Sterling Bank, 31.2 million volume of shares they traded. Let's look at how all this reflected in the sectorial performance. Banking sector down 2.05%, industrial sector 0.06% negative, and of course consumer goods gaining 0.48%, and of course the oil and gas sector gaining 0.62%. All the gains are indeed marginal. Insurance sector gaining 0.52% as well. Let's look at the rest of the continent. Joburg in South Africa down again today, 0.02%, actually picking up from where it's up yesterday. NSE in Nairobi also down today, 1.18%, and of course GSE Ghana Stock Exchange also down 0.01%. These are indeed the performance of the market across the continent on Wednesday. Indeed, trading as usual is on, and of course we'll give you updates as we get them. Now we take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go into our discussion. We're still looking at subsidy removal and of course the implication on small businesses. Don't go away.
Welcome to Trust TV, where we document the Nigerian story. Our programming showcases the rich culture and diversity of Nigeria. We strive to amplify the voices that make our nation unique. Our programming is designed to take you on a journey through the different tastes of entertainment in our country. We showcase the best of Nigerian culture, from traditional craft to cutting-edge technology. Our team of expert journalists are dedicated to unveiling the intricacies of our culture and telling the untold stories that binds us all. And let's not forget the food. Nigeria has diverse and flavorful cuisines, some of the favorites to millions across the world. What is Nigeria without its people, their passions and their talent? Trust TV is not just a channel, it's a platform that brings you closer to everything that makes Nigeria great. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Glad to have you back. It's in Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Now we're going into our discussion segment, and we're looking at, of course, the first subsidy removal, the hike in petroleum and fuel prices, and of course the implication on small businesses. I have joining me in the studio Mr. Fanuel Lawrence. He's the CEO of Green Peak Shelters. Glad to have you.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Yes, this topic has been on the front burner for a very, very long time. So many reactions here and there. Sure. As a businessman, what is your own immediate reaction? How are you feeling? Are you enjoying the new policies of the government?
the truth is that the economic situation is biting hard on everybody. Most especially for those of us that are in the business sector. Because as the inflation keeps going high, the costs of goods and services is on the increase. So it affects businesses because the purchasing power of the common man is weakened by the increase in price of goods and services. So that what you could have bought with 1,000 naira, now you need maybe 2,000 or 3,000 naira to buy. So with less sales, as a business person too, you are affected because the sales are also dropping. Everybody's fighting for survival now. So the economy is actually in a very bad shape. The subsidy removal, is it a good thing? Yes. But I do think that so many things ought to have been taken into consideration. In as much as I'm a proponent of the fact that subsidy was a scam. But the measures that needed to have been put in place before the subsidy is removed so that it could cushion the impact and the effect that such removal will have on the economy, it was not done. And up to now, we're wondering why nothing drastic is being done. So everybody is affected. Transport fares have gone up. Cost of food have gone up. Cost of livelihood generally has gone up. So the impact is huge on businesses.
Indeed. SMEs form the backbone of economy all over the world. Same with Nigeria. And of course, it's contributing so much to economic growth, diversification, of course, poverty reduction, because a lot of Nigerians are engaged in this sector. We also know that this sector also operates on a very lean budget. Lean budget. Now you're having to upscale or do I say make adjustments to the new reality now that we are having in the economy. So how easy or difficult is it for you now to adjust to the new reality?
Well, one of the things about being a leader is your ability to be flexible, to always be ahead of your game, to be able to adapt. Like I said, it's biting hard on businesses. And for my own organization, for example, now we've had to cut down the number of working days for the staff. So instead of coming to the office 5 days in a week, so they come Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. And all of that is done so that you are also helping them to mitigate the cost of transportation. Now, because you are paying them the same salary, the transport fare has gone up, and you expect them to come to work every day, it's somehow not realistic with the present economic reality. Then also, you have a situation where the sales is also dropping because people do not have extra cash again. Most people, like I said earlier, everybody is trying to survive now because survival, you must have food first. These are basic, the basic necessities are the things people are spending money on now. So for those of us like me that I'm in the real estate sector, now sales has dropped seriously. So in the nearest future, if nothing is being done to stimulate the economy, now you also have a situation where besides cutting down on the number of working days, you begin to cut down on staff. And what will that lead to?
Increasing unemployment.
Already we have a situation where the statistics show us that our active youth population is about 151 million. We have 151 million Nigerian youths. And of this population, 80% of them are not engaged. And you know that the private sector is the only employer of labor.
The largest employer.
The largest employer of labor, because how many people can government employ? So I do think that this is a matter of national urgency, where every thing needs to be put in place to see how the economy is stimulated as fast as possible.
Talking about putting measures in place, government indeed came up with the palliatives, but there was, arguments in some section of the economy that they proposed palliative, as it were, about 8,000 to 12 million households will not really make any impact as well. So there's so many criticism of that proposal. I think government has asked for a review of that now. So to what extent do you think this palliative will actually cushion the effects on small businesses especially?
In my own opinion, I do think that the government is almost about to repeat the same mistake that the previous government did. Now, when you're
talking about... It's the same party anyway.
Yes, the same party, but things can be done differently. Because it's APC doesn't mean everybody must use the same template. Now, if you want to reach out to the poor, because we heard of how almost $500 billion was being used by the former Minister of Humanitarian and Disaster Management as a palliative, money going to the very poor. Now, but the question now is, how do you determine who these very poor are? When we saw a clear case of politicization of the whole...
social investment program.
Yes. We saw there was the political angle of it, there was the tribal angle of it, there was the religious angle of it. So it didn't take us anywhere. Now you're talking about 8,000 naira. When 8,000 naira does not...
But social investment programs are, policies that are being adopted everywhere in the world.
No, but what we are saying is that the social investment program should be well articulated so that we can see the benefits. Because if you are giving somebody 8,000 naira, 8,000 naira is not up to $10, sir. It's not up to $10 per month. How do you expect somebody to survive with a family with less than $10 in this present economy? You just read out the prices of tomato, rice, and other things. A bag of rice, the cheapest you find, it's almost about 40-something thousand naira. So 8,000 naira, what will that do for a family? So what I'm saying in essence is this. Now, yes, we heard that the president have given the marching order that the
whole policy should be reviewed.
Yes. Now, what we expect is they should come up with a well-articulated
implementation plan, maybe.
Yes. Now, who are these people? Now, there should be a thorough, the process of generating...
Already we have a register, a social investment register.
But we all know how those registers come about, sir. Do you understand?
I don't know. Maybe
yes.
You can tell me.
Now, most of these things, you know, like I initially said, they are done... some people are favored over some people, some regions are favored over some regions. All those considerations are there. But you have poor people spread across the 36 states of the Federation. Do you understand? So what I'm saying in essence is that there is nothing wrong with revising the whole thing entirely. Now, so that you come up with something holistic. And is a sharing of money the way to empower people? No. Now, one of the ways I think the government should be looking at, and I think the government should measure on skill development. Skill development. Because you cannot continue to be feeding people who do not have any skill. That is just the reality. It's not sustainable. Just like you said, all over, yes, there are always palliative measures to take care of the weak in the society. I'm not doubting that. Do you understand? But in this case, what we are saying is that while you're trying to do that, the process should be thorough, the process should be fair, there should be equity, there should be transparency. Now, beyond that, why don't you focus more on skill development for both the youths and women? And even the adult, because the times we live in now, the unemployment rate in Nigeria is very high. And one of the problems we are also grappling with, which nobody is talking
youth
about,
unemployment is about 31%.
Yeah, it is now, beside the youth unemployment, one of the major problems that we are not talking about, which is the biggest problem, is even the unemployability of the graduates, of the educated. You call for an interview now, go through 100 CVs. I tell you, if you want to set high standard, you may be disappointed that you will not find 5 people out of 100 people that can suit well in that role.
That can be attributed to the falling standard of education.
So we also have schools.
And part of government plan is also to reinvest the money that we are realizing from the subsidy removal in the educational sector as well.
Yes, you see, let me still say this. All over, subsidy is not a bad thing. Now, in France, for example, Airbus is being subsidized. Without the French government subsidizing the company, you wouldn't have an Airbus. You go to Britain, in UK, the healthcare system is being subsidized. You go to US, the agriculture is being subsidized. That is why our agricultural products from Africa cannot compete favorably with their products. However, is subsidy a bad thing? Subsidy is not a bad thing. But the subsidy arrangement was abused. And one of the things that we must also call on the government to do, besides removing the subsidy, because what we just did here was, okay, throw the baby with the bathwater. Like I said, subsidy is not a bad thing. But let me say this, sir. So now, we must also call on the government that, yes, now that you've removed the subsidy because you've given us reasons to believe that subsidy was a bad thing, which we all agree. Now, what are you going to do to those who were feeding fat on this nation in the name of subsidy? The government must go after them, prosecute them. It is not enough for the government to just say we remove subsidy and then you just leave these people. Because in any society where people are not, where there is no law and order.
There's a narrative I want us to interrogate before we wrap up the show.
Thank you, sir.
Before now, we're told that the few are the one benefiting from the subsidy, as it were.
Yes, very true.
Yes, but if you recall now, when there was subsidy on fuel, we're buying petrol at 195 or 190 per liter. But when the subsidy was removed, as it is today, it's over 617 in Abuja and then 620, 630, even 650 in some places. So that is what we're actually buying. So who bears the burden of subsidy removal? Are those few so-called beneficiaries of subsidy, are they having, the feelings of what the larger Nigerians are feeling right now?
Okay, now, when we were buying fuel for 197 naira, it was in Abuja. Because if you drive down to Maraba, you go down to Zuba, or you go to Gwagwalada, you cannot buy fuel for 197 naira. Now, in Edo State, I traveled to Auchi, and I was surprised as at that time that fuel was selling for 500 and something naira in Auchi. So what were we subsidizing? So the subsidy only benefited most of us, those of us that were in Abuja, because when you leave Abuja, you don't buy fuel for 197. So now the thing is this: everybody is feeling the pain, but the elite, just like we're saying now, the government, National Assembly, they're planning to buy SUVs with 70 billion naira.
40 billion for SUVs.
40 billion for SUVs.
70 billion for palliatives.
So it only tells you the things we prioritize as a people. Now it tells you how insensitive even those who are supposed to represent us are, because in this situation, even if there was a plan like that, yes, these vehicles will assist them to do their work and all other things. But why are we taking jobs outside Nigeria? Because we have Innoson here. They could have as well bought these cars from Innoson. What that will do is that the money remains within Nigeria, because Innoson has a higher demand to produce. Now, he will also expand his capacity in employing other people. And now, over time, there is a technology transfer, because the people working there, they're also gaining knowledge. So the ripple effect on the economy is going to be much, but you are taking about 40 billion, and you are going to Japan to buy Toyota cars, just because you want to serve. Who says we cannot use Innoson vehicles? Now, even if there's anything like that, we need to be sensitive of the times we are in, because Nigerians are in pain. This is not the time to come up with that, because what you are telling us is you don't bloody care. And at the same time, the president is saying, let the poor breathe. How are we going to breathe when you are suffocating the poor?
Well, so much palliative, we were told, are actually in the works. The 8,000 that were, that is not being reviewed was one of them. But now, given the promises from the government now, and of course, the pains that you have really identified that Nigerians are going through, how quickly do you want the government to release these palliatives? As
quick as possible. On my way to the studio, I was talking with a friend, and he just confirmed to me that in their office, they are even yet to implement the 40% salary increment that Buhari did. Now, like I said, this is a matter of national importance. So it does not take anything for the president and his team to sit down and come up with a new money wage within and the labor, within a.
But do we have do we have money? Do we have money right now to pay new minimum wage?
Of course,
even the current wages.
Of course,
the current wages that some states are even finding it difficult to pay.
Of course, we are told that monthly now we are saving 500 billion from subsidy. so if we have 500 billion, I believe we can pay. Let me just give you a run. Now, Seychelles. Quickly. Now, Seychelles, what is the minimum wage in Seychelles? Seychelles is $432. Libya is $322. Morocco, $281. Gabon, $256. And what is the minimum wage in Nigeria? 30,000 naira, which is less than 30,000 naira is less than $30.
Indeed.
And but if you expect somebody to live on that.
If you look at the population of these countries, you can't.
No, it's not a function of population. No, it is not a function of population. Now, our population, Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa. So it is not a function of population.
By our GDP, but if you apply the GDP per capita, we are one of the lowest in Africa.
No, but what I'm trying to say here is, looking at the resources that we have, we can
That is if well harnessed.
Yes, not if well harnessed, if well managed. If well managed. So we cannot continue the trajectory where we are depending only on Dangote refinery when we have two other refineries that we can privatize those refineries. Government has tried over the years to revamp the refineries. They are not working. I am one person that does not believe that the Nigerian government should still bring up money to pump into those refineries. Now what they should do is privatize the refineries, or partly own the refineries with the investors, so that these refineries can work. And I assure you, sir, if those refineries are privatized, within the shortest possible period of time, they will start working. Now let the Dangote refinery come on stream. Because if we do not do this, if we do not do this, the fluctuation in the oil prices is here to stay.
Absolutely. Mr. Fanuel Lawrence, CEO, Green Peak Shelters, I must thank you for your time. We are really pressed for time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time on Business Daily today. With that is a wrap on the show. Join us tomorrow for more. I am Yusuf Akogu.